This lighting is really terrible.
Never complain when they trace my tracks. Yeah, safe to say I put gang on back. I made a way, my own lane, no cap now. How many niggas can say that? I'm one of them ones.
It is currently 7:46 in the morning. Good morning, gorgeous. I decided every morning I was going to do at least 1 to 2 quick workouts, each of them being a minute. I did not want to set a specific number for me to do. I'm trying to do all my workouts until failure. I know this probably seems a little excessive, but I feel like it pushes me not to set a limiting boundary on myself, just go until failure. After I did all of that, I made me some tea because, you know, those tight core muscles had to be replenished. It was the same blueberry tea, very, very delicious, and seemingly to be my favorite. This is me cleansing my auras, really working. I've been really working on my throat chakra. So that's, so you see me really working on my throat chakra there, having to unblock it and get it nice and cleansed. It shocked me to see the fire really ignite around my throat chakra, which made me feel like it was a confirmation, like, yeah, the work you've been doing is paying off. You've ignited your throat chakra and it's really being opened. And this is just me cleansing, you know, my crown, my third eye, and then the rest of my chakras going down. Really just repeating a mantra to myself in my head and telling myself that the day is new and I need to set new goals, new desires, and never limit myself. Please do not judge the background that I have here. I was cleaning up at the time, as you're gonna see in a later video. I just went over some of my plants. Those are my avocados. Those are my garlics. I've been trying to start a garden, which you're going to see. This is not a very typical garden. I am on that broke girl shit, so I wanted to see if the garlics would still grow with me just planting them down into the ground rather than going to go buy soil. And so far I don't think they've done pretty bad. They've been in the ground for maybe like 4 or 5 days now, and the stems of them are still pretty healthy and growing, which makes me very excited. But I'm still nervous to plant the rest of them because I've seen somebody say that, you know, you have to look out for mealworms that'll come and just eat your beautiful plants up without you even knowing it once they really spurt and grow. This was the seed mixture I found in my garage. It was like you can plant it in the soil. So you guys know I had to give you face and vocals. Just know each video is going to come with face and vocals. Okay, so there's a lot of background noise. It's because I'm in my living room doing some work right now and the window's open. So I'm actually going to do a like backstory video, just because it's actually just kind of popped in my head off of this video I seen. I'll post a video.
Funny, yes, but not funny, haha. Funny, weird.
There's this time in middle school, I was in like 6th or 7th grade in middle school. I was in PE, and I had this friend. I'm not gonna say his name. I'm just calling him the first letter of his name, which is B. B had a friend who, before like the No Left Behind Act was in place, people can get held back in school. He was like a year or 2 years held back. So he was like supposed to be in high school. We were all still in middle school. And he was there with us. So, you know, he just made friends with who was there for middle school. So we were in PE, and B comes up to me. He gave me like these pleading eyes and was like, I have a question to ask you. And I was like, okay, go for it. What's your question? And he was like, I just want to know, like, at your house, do your curtains match your carpet? And when he said that, like, he started with at your house. So when I'm trying to think of my house, and I'm like, no, my house has hardwood floor. Like, we no carpet. And him and his friend, who was the one who was held back, let's call him S, because the first letter of his name starts with an S. DS. That's what they were on that day. So what ended up happening when he asked me that, I was like, no carpet. They both started cracking up, and I was so confused. I've never been more confused in my life. I was confused about why they were laughing, and I asked them, like, why are you guys laughing? And B looks at me again. He goes, no, you're not getting me. I want to know, like, does your carpet match your drapes, or does your carpet match your curtains? And I kept going, no, I don't have carpet at my house. Like, I don't have carpet whatsoever. I don't have carpet. And every time I said it, they asked me like 6 times, bro. 6 times, bro. And every time they asked me, I got more and more confused. S didn't have PE with us. So when S left, he wasn't supposed to be there. You know how you walk your friends to class? Yeah, S wasn't supposed to be there. So when S left, B sat down at the table with me. We're supposed to be doing our mile run, but you know they give you like sections. They were like A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B. Okay, group A, go run first. We were group B. B is sitting there. We're sitting together. And I was like, I don't get your question. Like, why were you asking me that question when he was around? And he was like, you're so innocent. And I was like, how am I innocent? Like, isn't that an innocent question? You're asking me about my house. Like, he was like, not your physical house. I'm asking you about you personally. And I was like, well, I don't get it. And he was like, it's a sexual question. And I was like, how's it a sexual question? Curtains and carpet? How's it a sexual question? And he just would refuse to stop laughing at me. So after he ends up telling me, like, it's a sexual question, and he was like, he grabbed my hair, like, he touched, like, the strands of my hair. I had braids in at the time. And he had grabbed, like, a couple of my braids and was like, these are your curtains. And I was like, that's my hair. And he was like, just follow me. And I was like, okay. And he was like, these are your curtains. So if these are your curtains, where's your carpet? And I was like, my arms? Like, you know, your arm hair, your leg hair. I was like, my arms and legs, like my leg hair. And he was like, close, but no, like go up from your legs to like your area. And I was like, oh. And then I started cracking him up more because I was like, I still don't have carpet. And from that day on, I truly believe like that was like the starting of our friendship. Because anytime we were in PE, anytime we like, I think we only had PE together, if I'm not mistaken. But anytime we had class together, we were always just hanging out. It was always just us. Because, well, his other friends weren't in the same class. And I think he just made a friend out of me. So, but we always had a great time. We were like that in PE. Just PE though. And then when we seen each other at lunch, it was always kind of like, oh, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up. So that goes to show that like in middle school, you're innocent. But at the same time, it's like that's when the hormones and the curiosity starts like raging. Is in middle school, 6th, 7th, sometimes even 8th grade. I know that's not for everybody, it's not for a lot of people, but I want to say majority. I want to give it the majority because I didn't get that joke. And then in middle school, we literally had like Slap Ass Friday, like every day of the week had something. Touch Titty Tuesday, Slap Ass Friday. Dude, every day had something. And we would all play. We would all play. Girls and guys, we would all play. Guys had some days where the girls would do something to them. Guys had days where they would do something to the girls. And we were all playing, bro. Nobody was opposed to it. The only thing I think everybody was opposed to was water. Nobody wanted to be wet. I remember this time in summer, it was a big group of us. And it was a big group of us. Like in middle school, it's almost like you're friends with everybody. Well, at least I felt like I was. And it was a big group of us, and we started a water balloon fight. And bro, they hit the wrong person with a water balloon. She did not want to be wet. She started a fight with the girl who threw the water balloon at her. And when she threw that water balloon, it started a school fight. The whole lunch, it was like different groups fighting. It was almost like that one fight made the other girls be like, oh yeah, since they're fighting, I'm gonna go fight this girl. Because they had to shut our whole lunch down. The whole campus had to sit down in the field, and they had like this bullhorn, and they were like, you guys shouldn't be fighting. Why are there like 6, 7 groups of you guys fighting? What's going on? Mind you, it was a hot day. We're sitting in the field with the sun beaming on us. After just, some of us are soaking wet because like we brought like little water guns, water balloons, different things to just have fun. And there were people like, I said I didn't want to be wet, and they're throwing water balloons, and other people were like, just let loose, it's water, it's gonna dry, like, come on now, you're being weird. So everybody was just arguing, but they got mad at us because, like, nobody could stop fighting. Like, the kids, we couldn't stop arguing over, like, it's just water, it'll dry, and people who didn't want to be wet. And I get it, like, respect that person's boundaries. They didn't want to be wet, and then at the same time I get it, like, it's just water, like, it's dry, like, you're not gonna fucking melt if you're wet, or like, unless when you get wet you start to stank. I don't see what the problem is. You know, in middle school I had that mindset, like, it's just water, you go home, get in the shower, it's water. Like, who you really here for that, like, they're not gonna like you because you're wet. But when I tell you, the staff and the administration and the security were so mad because it was more of us fighting than it was them separating us. Like, it would be like 2-3 security guards separating this group, but that group had sparked another group because it was like, oh, you hit my girlfriend, I'm gonna fight you. And then the guys started fighting, and then the administration would have to go separate them, and then he'd be like, oh, you fighting my homie? Oh no, don't jump, we're not jumping over here. And then it'd be that group fighting, and then it'd be like, oh, you thought it was okay to jump, well, I'm gonna go tag your homie. And the other homies would go over there and fight, and like, it wasn't enough administration to separate all the fights that were breaking out. So when they finally got everybody to stop and sat us all down in the field, like, people were still wanting to fight. Like, they had to fully get us all sat down and separated. But the kids who were fighting had to go sit in the office, but that was the only way to get them fully separated and calm. So, you know, they would send their friends with them to go into the office, and the ones they were fighting against would stay outside in the field, you know, like, get them separated. So, you know, you're not gonna fight your friend unless you and your friend are fighting. So everybody in administration had to come out and help, except I think like the front desk lady, who she has to stay there just in case anybody just walks into the school. I think middle school was like my best school era because high school is kind of bullshit. Like, I didn't like the high school I went to. The only thing I think I liked about the high school that I went to was my principal. She was the best principal I think I've ever had in my entire life. Love her to death. So, you know, Miss B, if you see this, you helped me graduate, girl, and I love you. I always love you. Damn, Miss B was... I can't even... That'll have to be a story for another day. I have a lot of stories with Miss B. She was... When I say I've never had a principal like her, never had a principal like her. She was understanding AF. The funny part is everybody's always like, you're gonna miss it, you're gonna miss it. Once you graduate, you're gonna miss high school. And I'm like, now that I'm out, I've been out for 3 years. I graduated in 2019. Now that I'm out, I'm like, who's missing it? Because 3 years in, I don't miss it. I don't miss it. I may be stressing out with adulthood and don't like adulthood, but I don't miss high school. Y'all liars. Y'all liars. Y'all miss high school because, I don't know what y'all miss high school for. But I think I'm gonna do like a little series where I get like a bunch of middle school stories out and then transfer over to high school, or to just kind of be like whichever one pops in my head first to tell. Because, like, you know how sometimes memories dawn on you and you just kind of be like, oh my God, oh shit. Like, that's kind of what these are gonna be about. Like, it's gonna be one of those, oh shit, memories kind of like story. Maybe I'll tag it like that. Like, oh snap, memories. Ooh, I like that. I always gotta hit you with a quick dance break. And don't think I forgot, I still went for my walk. We started at about 7:59, 8 o'clock, and got home about 9:40. I started to have a nosebleed only because at the very end of our walk, maybe 2 blocks from my house, I decided we were gonna run, and I died.